Why is it so hard to speak up for myself? Part 1 of a 2-part series on speaking up for yourself and the people you love. Why didn't I say anything? I've asked myself that question more than once. I knew what I wanted to say. In fact, I had rehearsed it. I knew exactly where the conversation needed to go. But when the moment arrived, I smiled, nodded, changed the subject, and drove home thinking of all the things I wished I'd said. Have you ever done that? You leave a meeting, a family gathering, or a conversation with a friend, and suddenly the words come flooding in. I should have said, I wish I had told them. Why didn't I speak up? It's easy to believe that means we're weak, or afraid, or bad at confrontation. But I don't think that's usually what's happening. Speaking up can feel risky. For many of us, speaking up has never simply been about saying words. It's been about wondering what those words might cost. Will they be disappointed? Will they get angry? Will they stop liking me? Will I make things worse? Will I regret saying something? Our minds aren't just deciding whether to speak. They're trying to protect relationships or even ourselves. Protect safety. Protect peace. Protect belonging. When you look at it that way, staying quiet suddenly makes a lot more sense. Most of us learned something about silence. Every family teaches us something about speaking up. Some families welcomed honest conversations. Others avoided difficult topics altogether. Some rewarded children for being agreeable. Others taught that questioning authority was disrespectful. Most of us didn't sit through formal lessons about communication. We simply watched. We noticed what happened when people disagreed. We noticed who got heard. We noticed who didn't. Without realizing it, we began writing rules for ourselves. Don't upset people. Don't make things harder. Don't ask for too much. Those rules and others like it can stay with us for decades, long after the people who taught them are gone. It usually doesn't feel like courage. Movies make courage look dramatic. Real courage is different. See also the blog Courage to Feel. I need to think about that. I'm not comfortable with this. I see it differently. I can't commit to that right now. I need you to stop speaking to me that way. Those aren't dramatic statements. They're honest ones. And honesty can feel surprisingly vulnerable, especially when you've spent years trying to keep everyone else comfortable. What happens when we stay quiet? Keeping the peace often works at first, and then something else begins to happen. Conversation ends, but it doesn't end inside us. We replay it. We imagine different responses. We carry frustration we never expressed. Eventually, the silence becomes exhausting, not because we never spoke once, because we slowly stop trusting our own voice. That's one of the hardest parts. Every time we ignore what matters to us, it becomes a little easier to ignore it again. Before you speak up, I think we often ask the wrong first question. Instead of asking, how do I say this? What if we started with, what am I trying to protect? Sometimes we're protecting a relationship. Sometimes we're protecting ourselves from rejection. Sometimes we're protecting an image of being easygoing. Understanding what we're protecting helps us understand why speaking feels so difficult. It also helps us decide whether that protection is still serving us. Speaking up isn't about winning. One of the biggest misunderstandings about self-advocacy is that it's about getting your way. It isn't. You can speak honestly, and someone can still disagree. You can set a boundary, and someone may not like it. You can ask for what you need, and the answer may still be no. Self-advocacy isn't measured by whether people agree with you. It's measured by whether you honored your own voice. That's a very different kind of success. Learning to speak so you'll be heard. One of the reasons I added a lesson called Speaking to be Heard at the end of my Listen Your Way to Deeper Connections course is because listening and speaking belong together. Listening helps us understand other people. Speaking helps other people understand us. Neither one is enough by itself. In the course, we explore how to stay emotionally grounded before difficult conversations, how to express what matters without attacking or withdrawing, and how to communicate in a way that gives understanding the best chance to grow. because speaking up isn't about just finding the courage to say something. It's about learning how to say it in a way that reflects who you are and what matters most to you. If you're ready to build both sides of the conversation, listen well and speaking, so you're more likely to be heard, you can learn more about the course here. Listen your way to deeper connections. Link in the text. Start smaller than you think. If speaking up feels overwhelming, don't begin with the hardest conversation of your life. Begin with something ordinary. Say, I'd rather not. I need a little more time. That doesn't work for me. I'd like to think about it. These small moments matter, not because they're life-changing, because they're practice. Every honest sentence teaches your nervous system that your voice belongs in the room too. You deserve to hear your own voice. If you've spent years putting other people's needs ahead of your own, speaking up may feel unfamiliar. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It simply means you're learning something new. Your needs matter, your experiences matter, and your voice matters too. You don't have to become louder. You don't have to become someone else. You simply have to believe that your perspective deserves a place in the conversation. Looking ahead. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. In the next blog, we'll look at what happens when you're speaking up for someone you love instead of yourself. It's applied specifically to the healthcare situation, but it works in other things too. Because advocating for another person brings a different set of questions, emotions, and challenges. A place to talk it through. At Hold, we offer a calm, confidential space where you can sort through the conversations you're preparing to have or the ones you wish had gone differently. Without interruption, judgment, or advice, you'll have the opportunity to hear your own thoughts all the way through and discover what matters most to you. If you're not ready for that, you're welcome to explore other blogs and just take your time. Whatever conversation is ahead of you, I hope you find the courage to speak with honesty and the peace that comes from knowing you honored your own voice.